What's up? It's a Florida Gator Friday. The swamp, baby.
What's going on here? Bring it on. Let's make this happen. All right.
Rumor and Innuendo. I'm Dominic D'Angelo of SCScoops.com, adfreeshows.com, and OneTrueSportTV.com. But I am with the Florida Gator himself, Mr. Robert Karpelis. Robert, how are you today? Oh, look at this. Yes.
Dude, the Gator head is on. If we're doing this, let's do this properly. Was not expecting that. Just happened to have that on the standby. Gotta look goofy in a hat on camera. No, I'm not used to this. It's weird. It's strange, but I'm here. I'm wearing a Gator hat. It's Friday. I'm fairly certain I know what day of the week it is. And I'm fairly certain Dom still has a mustache. So, this is a strange day here. But let's say hi to the fine folks that are joining us in the chat. Wrestling Old Head, good after morning R&I on the heels of Bash in Berlin. Do we get Paul Heyman returning to bring out a returning Roman Reigns tonight? No.
I don't think so
How's
either.
that for an answer? Because I'm pretty sure SmackDown is abroad.
Yes, I believe so.
So it's probably going on in about an hour from now.
Yeah. Not too much to preview, but we will get to that.
Oh, there's plenty to preview, Dom. There's always money in the banana stand, and there's always stuff to preview here.
Is that the Tobias line? Because I look like freaking David Cross.
It's not the Tobias line, but it's close. It's right show, wrong guy. It's the David Cross line. And no, sorry. Oh my gosh, it's not. It's the Jeffrey Tambor line. Brain went blank there for a minute.
Well, let's get back on track, I guess, then, huh?
Sorry, in our Bluth family rumor and innuendo show here, I got a Gator hat on. We're talking Fox sitcoms from early 2000s. I don't know what's going on. I'm excited to be here. Thank you, Wrestling Old Head, who wrote, "I blew myself." Be a great slogan for Blue Chew, but it's not, and I'm not getting. It's too early in the show. It's too early in the broadcast to get to that. Alt Jake here makes a great point. Heyman isn't coming back until SmackDown leaves Fox. That's right. You're not getting the good stuff until they're back on USA Network.
That's right. We talked about this on Magnum and Gagne. Robert, I was kind of surprised that Fox did not keep SmackDown. It seemed like a hot property to kind of keep around and something steady for them.
No, wasn't. It didn't surprise me. No, because what ultimately happened is Fox had the opportunity to do Friday night college football games.
Oh.
And they saw that there was going to be a huge rating uptick in that. And the SmackDown ratings, while okay, not great. Speaking of not great, Joseph Wade Walters here with a Go Knowles. Go back a week and let me know how that worked out for you, because Roman Reigns' Georgia Tech put the Florida State Seminoles in their place with special guest celebrity picker Sheamus. Who
together.
It's circular. It's a wheel. It's a circular wheel. What the hell's going on? It's Friday. We're loose. I'm wearing a hat. Dom's always wearing a hat. Crazy. Yes, you're wearing. Why are you sweating?
I have no AC in my apartment.
You know what you need, Dom? You need to talk to our friends at Mando. No, it would have been perfect if we had a Mando ad teed up for today. You can go to shopmando.com, promo code rumor, and you're going to get $5 off that starter pack, and that's absolutely going to help Dom.
I did use the Mount Fuji.
The only reason why his cat is not passed out in the corner right now.
That's it.
I know if there is any sort of on the field, on the ground testing, it's the fact that Dom is in an apartment where there is no functional air conditioning, and his cat is still alive, not being killed by his body odor. And I haven't killed Dom for forgetting to upload Working Stiff, but it is up now.
Robert?
It is up now. You can go listen to it now, but we've got stuff to talk about at the top, because while I was getting somewhere with this, Dom, while I was recording Working Stiff yesterday, there was some breaking news from our friends at Netflix.
That's right, Robert. Some pretty big one too. Some big news happening. Mr. McMahon on Netflix.
You can call him Vince.
Yes,
I think we're past the point of needing to show respect.
That's the name of the series, though.
Yes, I know. I'm just.
So set to release on September 26th.
Can we not say Mr. McMahon set to release? Because
Oh,
that usually requires an NDA.
yes. So the first announcement came on social media via Netflix. Said Mr. McMahon, a documentary series chronologic. Oh my God,
Wow.
chronicling the rise and fall.
How about I pull up this
You want to
language
help me
here?
here,
I,
Rob?
I, had other, I had other stuff teed up, but you know what? Let's close that. Let's
There-
pull up the Mr. McMahon, a documentary series chronicling the rise and fall of the WWE's controversial founder, is coming to Netflix on September 25th. From Chris Smith, executive producer of Tiger King, and Bill Simmons. It's a weird way to write that sentence. That's a fragmented sentence. This includes interviews with McMahon prior to his resignation, his family, and some of the most iconic names in wrestling history, as well as the journalists who uncovered McMahon's allegations simply by looking at him. Sorry,
that was a little.
Yes. There's actually someone I'm going to talk to. I'm going to try to bring a guest on to chat about Mr. McMahon in the coming days. But director Chris Smith, who put this together, who is the executive producer of Tiger King, which is about as fair and balanced as you get in terms of gonzo-ass documentary series, said the goal behind Mr. McMahon was to pull back the curtain and reveal the true Vince McMahon, obscured beneath the persona he presented to the world. Over the 4 years of production, the story evolved in truly shocking ways, culminating in some extremely harrowing allegations. The final product is a revealing documentary that we believe offers a rich and nuanced portrait of the man and the complex legacy he left behind. Andrew Hermes asks a question right here. Do you guys think that making the documentary is part of the Netflix deal? Great question. Complicated question. So Bill Simmons has a long-standing relationship with Nick Khan.
Mhm.
They go back a ways. There's a rapport there. Nick Khan has done Bill Simmons podcasts before. There's a great relationship with the two of them. The fact that the Tiger King folks are involved with this, they had obviously the relationship with Netflix. So there was an opportunity on that end. When the conversations were going on for the documentary, there were conversations that were ongoing about WWE's TV rights. So sure, it felt like, it would be a great way to introduce WWE programming to the Netflix world is a Vince McMahon documentary done by a third party. WWE has done documentaries about Vince McMahon. It's kind of like on The Simpsons when they did the Mr. Burns story.
Yeah.
And it was glossing him over, like what Steven Spielberg did for Schindler, and it was okay, but you didn't really get in the meat and potatoes of it. There's the Ringmaster book that's out, that's usually behind me, by Abraham Josie Reisman. Hell of a book, gets into the entire history of Mr. McMahon, the persona, the person, the character, and there's so many interesting stories about young Vince. Vince as a child, Vince growing up in North Carolina, the allegations against his step parent. There were some sexual misappropriation things that occurred to Vince when he was a very young man. His time at boarding school, his courtship with Linda, and how that all worked out. The fact that Vince McMahon at one point was in the world of minor league hockey,
What? I
that
didn't know
he
that.
promoted Evil Knievel's jump. He promoted one of Evil Knievel's big jumps. He was involved in the Muhammad Ali Antonio Inoki fight and promoting that. Really interesting, fascinating history. The fact that he didn't really have a relationship with Vince McMahon Sr. until he was in his late teens.
Wow.
Didn't really know his actual father. It's a really compelling young man story, and that as you get into the myth of what Mr. McMahon was creating on various media platforms, and for them to have sat with him and gotten a real interview from him, because they're not going to just tolerate the Mr. McMahon puffery. You're not going to get the Armin Katayan,
Yeah, I was gonna
Bob
say.
Costas, like, listen here, pal.
Hey.
He can be engaging when he's just himself, when he's not the character. And I think that part of it, he was going to be cognizant of, all right, if anyone's going to tell the story, it's going to be me. when he's done interviews. I mean, the Playboy interview. If you go back and read this Playboy interview, where he's just freely talking about having affairs.
Yeah.
And he's freely talking about getting into fights with people. And my favorite thing about him was when he said something about how he didn't want to do cocaine because he's competitive. And he's like, if I start doing it, I'm going to have to do all the cocaine. It's like, that's a hell of a defense. It hasn't stopped Tony Khan, but it's a hell of a defense for Vince McMahon. Allegedly, I'm just joking. Nice guy, a little twitchy. Dom, a little twitchy, making no assertions there on a Florida Gator Friday. But the fact that they sat with him, you had all these interviews, and then this all comes to light while they're filming the documentary, makes this 10 times more compelling because no one is going to have the footage that these guys have. And from a Netflix perspective, going all the way back to Andrew Hermes' initial question, this is a great opportunity for Netflix right now. They're able to get out ahead of what critics are going to be saying. That when Raw moves to Netflix in early 2025, there's going to be people saying, well, they're in bed with Vince McMahon. They say, well, no, we're not. Look at this hatchet job we just did on him. We literally called everything out. We opened the kimono, to use a business term, and we're like, here's everything. Here, warts and all, we know who Vince McMahon was. He's not part of this company anymore, and we're going to move forward, and we want nothing to do with Vince or the tawdry actions that he did, that he is accused of doing, or the things that he may have done in the bedroom, even at an advanced age. And guys, if you're at that advanced age and you're hoping to be the genetic jackhammer, can we talk to you about our friends at Blue Chew? This episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. If you want to be as hard as the summer day is long, then get yourself a Blue Chew and bring the summer heat. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost and in chewable form. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. The best part? It's all done online. No visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. You pop one of these Blue Chews and you're going to get your own amazing Netflix documentary. She's not going to be skipping. She's going to be binging what you've got because Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. We've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code RUMOR at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code RUMOR to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring this episode of Rumor and Innuendo.
Yes, you're not going to Netflix and chill with some Blue Chew. Let me tell you that much. I do want to follow up.
Hold on. Kamala Harris is texting me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they want money. What a shock!
What a shock!
Look, good on all of them. If you think I'm falling for those carnies in politics, I got another thing for you. We're here at the center of the carny epicenter, which is pro wrestling, and that means that we are at this point hours away from SmackDown.
That's right. Not a lot advertised, Robert, as you said. Heading overseas to Berlin there. We got Mishin looking to take down WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax in a street fight. And then we also have LA Knight with his United States Open Challenge, bringing the John Cena thing back. Is that teasing something a little ahead of time, maybe, perhaps, there, Robert?
No.
Or what do you think of this card? No, you don't think so. No John Cena.
No, I don't think John Cena is making the flight all the way.
I don't
over
mean
there.
in Berlin. I mean, tease way down the road, so to speak.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who winds up challenging LA Knight. They are in Berlin. There's a couple of names of some people that have thrown around out there. I've heard people hypothesizing AJ Styles, for people hypothesizing Shinsuke Nakamura. It's a good opportunity to kind of put somebody out there that we aren't necessarily expecting and let LA Knight get the win. I doubt you're going to get like a Logan Paul flying overseas to try and do this, but it's a modicum of intrigue, except it's a pre-tape show.
Yeah.
So there's not a tremendous surprise factor. unless you're planning on watching this show live, closing your browser, and ignoring all things social media until SmackDown airs tonight.
Could we perhaps see Das Wunderkind, Alex Wright?
I would be all about seeing Das Wunderkind, Alex Wright, go out there, do that stupid dance. It worked for it. Don't do it. No, you're doing the bushwhacker dance.
I am kind of, aren't I?
That is more bushwhacker than it is Das Wunderkind, and it is equally as disturbing. Guys, if you can see that and Blue Chew still works, then you know this is an amazing, amazing product.
That's right. But yeah, it all sets up for what we're getting at Bash at Berlin. And I looked at this card, cutting and pasting, Robert. It's a good, fun card coming up here. Let's run down. We'll start from bottom to top from how I have it listed. The WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. It's the Unholy Union taking on Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Is this where you think this is going to go? Would you put the titles back on Bianca and Jade and kind of run with them a little bit more?
Prior to Monday, I would have said yes.
Okay.
I would have said yes because I feel like Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, as the women's tag team champions, are intriguing. It gives the chance to put them on Raw and SmackDown and let them run roughshod over both divisions. On the other hand, on Raw, we did see the babyface Damage Control get a pretty good win over the Pasta Fusion Collective and my favorite chain restaurant. But they seem like they could be the next babyface duo. I don't think it would do them wonders to go up against Bianca and Jade, so I would see them going up against Alba and Isla. But then it's like, well, what are you going to do with Bianca? What are you going to do with Jade? I hate to say it, but Nia Jax will need new challengers after this street fight.
Yeah. I think the incentive to maybe put the titles back on Bianca and Jade would just be that they could go across both brands. But, what is this? The women's tag division is just so weird, I think. It's like everybody's a trio here. It's not, there aren't duos. So it's just a really kind of weird landscape. If I had to make a guess, I would think I'm going to go with Bianca and Jade, I think I'll still go with them. Let's see what else we go with. The strap match.
All right, I just saw here in the comments, Wrestling Oldhead was asking, what's Ludwig Borga doing? And then never mind, I Googled it. You don't need the sad face to report that Ludwig Borga is dead. He was a Nazi.
He was a Nazi.
Probably not the best person to bring up as we're preparing for this pay-per-view, but PLE, but that's beside the point. Yes, Ludwig Borga, not a great dude.
No. But we did have a strap. We do have a strap match tonight, or not tonight. This weekend.
CM Punk with a great dude in Drew McIntyre.
Taking on CM Punk. How's this going to develop? Who's going to get the win here, Robert? When this feud culminates, probably a Bad Blood, I would think. But we'll see.
Yeah, it's a strap match. It's currently 1-0 in favor of Drew McIntyre. I can imagine that you're going to want to tie this thing up. And it's a strap match where nobody's going to know the rules. Nobody's going to understand the rules. Is it just you're whipping each other with a strap? Are you touching the four corners? Are there going to be lights on there like we did with the JBL Texas Bull Rope match a long time ago? A lot of questions, no good answers. The advantage to this match is they still do not trust CM Punk to wrestle fully. And a strap match can distract people because wrestling fans, not always the brightest, and they like loud noises, Dom.
They do.
So when they hear the sound of the whip hitting against somebody, they're gonna ooh, they're gonna ah, they're gonna go wow, and that's all they're gonna pay attention to. So it's gonna be, if you like watching grown men whip each other, BlueChew.com, and then go check out Drew McIntyre versus Punk in this strap-on match. Sorry, it's a strap match, just a strap match. Apologies, TV. There's still TV PG. But yeah, no. Punk wins this. You get a tiebreaker match at Bad Blood because these guys have some bad blood.
They do. Big bad blood.
Yes.
I'm with you. CM Punk wins.
Used to be Mad Love. Now they got bad blood.
Bad blood. Mixed tag team match.
Sued by Taylor Swift.
Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio teaming up to go against Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest, also known as the Terror Twins. Is that right? Is that what they're called?
No, you made that up.
Terror Twins?
You just made that up right now. That's not a thing.
Twin. There, yeah.
It is. It's called the Terror. I'm just Dom, I'm just...
No, I was trying to think Twin Towers, and I was like, no, it's not that.
No. The Twin Towers are long gone. That was Akeem and the Boss Man.
Yes.
If you were thinking something else, you're a terrible person.
Yeah, definitely wasn't thinking that. But
speaking of terrible people, what Dom and Liv did to Rhea was truly awful, and I think they're going to do it again here. My gut, my prediction is you're going to get a moment where Dom is cowering in fear from Rhea. She's going to have him backed into a corner or something, and the crowd's going to be going nuts. And they're going to want to see Rhea get her comeuppance, and then Liv Morgan will catch her from behind, roll her up, and pin her. And then it's, now you're going to have more bad blood.
So it's building up. The tension is rising. Robert.
They're going to show no mercy.
It will indeed be Judgment Day.
Yes, they will be unforgiven.
Oh, my gosh.
And when all was said and done, it's going to be a taboo Tuesday.
Well, I mean, this card does feel fully loaded, Robert. So I think we're ready to go.
Yes. It's going to be Great Balls of Fire, which was a real pay-per-view name for those of you youngins who don't remember this. There was an actual WWE pay-per-view called Great Balls of Fire. It was one of the high water marks of having a parody wrestling account.
My goodness. Vince was listening to Jerry Lee Lewis at that time quite a bit. World Heavyweight Championship match. Champion Gunther defending his title against Randy Orton. I think we kind of know who's going to win here, Robert, but what do you expect? How will this match unfold? Will Gunther get a clean pin against the Viper?
Fun little plug for Working Stiff for the $10 Patreon tier. I just dropped something to Sports Entertainment with where I broke down in pretty good detail what would happen if Randy Orton actually were to win and why it makes a tremendous amount of sense. That being said, it's going to be Gunther winning.
Yeah. Ooh, interesting. I can't wait to download it and then post it late.
This is telling me he has not yet posted the audio that I sent him before, so it'll be up any moment. Best producer in all of professional wrestling, Dominic D'Angelo. Best main event.
Yes.
In Bash at Berlin is, it would have been Gunther and Orton, but you kind of went out of order here. So what's the only match we haven't talked about?
Oh, yes. It's Cody Rhodes, the champion, the WWE champion, going up against Kevin Owens. Robert, I think we know this one too, but should be fun. Wonder what they're going to do with Kevin Owens moving forward after this too.
Yeah, it feels like we're going to get a pretty good back and forth match. I think if nothing else, the opportunity for these guys right here is to steal the show. Kevin Owens, when he's given the opportunity to deliver, absolutely knocks it out of the park. And Cody on pay-per-view or PLEs has shown that he can really over-deliver. And he's got to be feeling good. I don't know if you saw this clip. I did send it out to the Working Stiff group, but Arkansas, the football team, whom as an SEC team is currently sitting in first place because they're the only SEC team to have played. And we don't really like the Arkansas Razorbacks, but during their football game against the Arkansas Pine Bluff team, very, very, very tough folks, they barely won 70-0 against the Golden
Division
Lions.
I?
It's a girls flag football team.
Oh, okay.
During that game, the Arkansas band played Kingdom. They played the Cody Rhodes theme. That's kind of cool.
That's pretty awesome. And I tell you what, Robert, I did watch it, and it sounded really good. I think you should just switch his music to that, the band playing it.
I wouldn't look. All fans want to do is be able to do the whoa, 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 and I think you all are lying that you know the lyrics to that song.
Right, that's true. That's true. Yep. So I want to. Could you further continue a feud with Cody and Kevin Owens after this?
No.
Say Kevin Owens snaps, boom, just unleashes on him. We got something going here for a couple.
No, because I think that's what they're going to be setting up for Randy Orton.
Yes.
It feels like we're going to be getting Orton and Cody at Survivor Series. Maybe we'll get that. I feel like you could tell a story where it's Orton and Cody at Bad Blood in a similar. Hey, you gave him a shot as a friend. Give me a shot as a friend. Cody wins, and then Randy snaps, and then
Mhm.
Kevin, who was Sportsman of the Year, gets pissed, and now he's going after Randy Orton, and now you got those two paired off for a while. I could see it going down that path.
Yeah, I'm interested. I like Kevin Owens in the situation he's in. I think he's just such a great baby face. He's a good heel too. So it creates that added unknown a little bit. So I like that aspect of it coming forward. So should be a good show. What else do I have on tap? I don't have anything else written
Well,
on.
there is another story out there that I do want to touch on
Yeah,
very
touch upon
briefly.
it.
Shane Strickland signed a new AEW contract, and there's a report coming out of the Observer that the WWE is not happy because WWE feels that AEW overpaid for Swerve Strickland, that they also are offering Danny Garcia well above market value. I see both sides of the argument to some degree. I think Swerve is probably worth every penny. They're paying Swerve around what they're paying Okada and Mercedes Moné. They want to lock down talent that they know that they can build on, who can deliver, who can be true main event stars for them. In AEW, they don't have shareholders and a board of directors like WWE had been operating under. Now, under the TKO umbrella, their finances are going to be further scrutinized in a different way to show profitability. At the end of the day, for AEW, it's one man's bank accounts, one man's piggy bank. He can pay whatever he wants to pay. You look at what happened with Time Warner, where they overpaid a lot of talent to keep them and ultimately led to their downfall. You have to hope that Tony kind of knows what he's doing. The idea in WWE's mind is if people think that they're going to get overpaid by going over to AEW, that they're going to jump ship for the wrong reasons, and it's going to create an unfair imbalance in the wrestling industry. And I can understand where that is, where there's talent that may be at a Danny Garcia level in WWE who are not going to be worth whatever Danny Garcia is being paid. You look at what that person's going to mean in terms of ratings, in terms of revenue, in terms of merchandise, sales, things like that, and they're going to say, "Hey, this guy probably isn't worth that threshold as a baseline guarantee, a downside guarantee." Obviously, you're going to get paid a little bit more on the houses and numbers, and rising tide lifts all boats, and what have you. But in WWE world, they do not want to be in an arms race and a pricing war for lower to mid-level talent. So it'll be interesting to see how this shakes out. If Tony's strategy is, I'm just going to overpay guys and that's going to keep them there, it's going to work for some folks, but there's some folks who are going to play the long game and see where they can have the best earning potential in the long run. And they may ultimately decide, hey, I'm going to go with WWE. The poster child for that, in my opinion, is Booker T, who, when the Time Warner deal was up and WWF acquired WCW, Booker got out of his Time Warner contract and signed a lesser contract with WWE because he saw the bigger upside and clearly made a tremendous amount of money. Another dude made a hell of a lot of money in WWE is Rob Van Dam. And in spite of that, he still spends one night a week talking to Dominic D'Angelo.
That's right. Don't know why he does it, but tonight, guys, if you want to tune in, go to rvdtv.com. Actually, go to Rob Van Dam's YouTube. Go to onetruesporttv.com to tune in live. We'll be streaming there live. You can interact with Rob, and it'll be the new episode starting on Monday. It drops every Monday at 4:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And you too can ask him, why are you spending your Friday night with Dom?
That's right. Right. Why would you do that? But check out Straight Talk.
Rob has a good life.
He does.
Of the Robs you host a podcast with, he seems to have a very chilled, relaxed life.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, I'm wearing a backwards baseball cap at the moment to seem whimsical, but as soon as we're done with this, I've got a mountain of contracts to start working through before it's the weekend. So me and Mr. Van Dam have very different Friday afternoons.
Very different Fridays. But yes, as Robert said, be sure to check out Workin' Stiff. The new episode just dropped this morning. Should have interrupted a little earlier. But we also have, like you said, something to sports entertainment with. If you go to the Patreon and go to the $10 tier, check it out. It's good stuff. It's always fun there. So, Robert, yes.
What a ringing endorsement that was. It's a good time, I guess.
It's a good time. It's a good time.
Why are you clapping?
I'm just excited.
I'm a nerve. I'm putting an end to this right now. No time to promote Straight Talk with the Boss, Greg Gagne, and Magnum TA. Also available where you can get podcasts or the audio version of Rumor and Innuendo, which is on iTunes, Spotify, and wherever you get audio shows. We will be back on quick programming note. We are probably going to be off on Monday because it is Labor Day. So
is it?
Yeah, thanks for paying attention. I'll be watching the Jerry Lewis telethon, obviously, because love me. You never know. Dean may show up again this year. They may reunite, and they'll sing "You Never Walk Alone," and we'll all cry, and it'll be wonderful. But yes, so we will most likely be back on Tuesday at noon Eastern on a plethora of platforms, including the WW Creative _ish X account, the SE Scoops X account, and on YouTube on Working Stiff, ad-free shows, and Rumor and Innuendo. So on behalf of Dominic D'Angelo, I'm not even giving you a nickname. We don't have time for that right now. I'm Robert Karpelis. Go Gators.
Yes, go